Okay, this is week 2 for the Summer of Co-op 2011. This is obviously Mario Kart. So we've been playing in the last week some Mario Kart Double Dash here. And it's a great co-op game. It's a GameCube game. And it's got kind of an interesting mechanic. So we are going to be playing co-op, which means we're going to be racing on the same cart. Who do you want to play as?
I'm going to start out with Peach.
Nice. I'm going to go with Koopa Paratroopa, because it's been going good. Well, let's see. The all-around carts have been doing good. Yeah. Well, I heard a good thing. We're going to go with Waluigi's cart, because we've been doing good with that so far. And the Star Cup, more difficult than the previous two. I don't think we've got the gold on this yet, and I don't think we're going to do a full video of the 4 races, but we're going to try and do as good as possible and just talk a little bit about why this is a good co-op game. Do you want to drive first?
Yeah, I don't mind driving.
Okay. So then I will continue to comment. So, that's the nature of this game. One person drives while the other person manages items. See, now I've got 3 red shells, and I just lost them. I still got 1 shell, though.
Maybe you should have drive first.
No, it's okay. Now, you also, if you're in the back, can do a little bump to the side to hit somebody when they come up next to you, and then that knocks away their item and you can actually get it. I failed to do that there. But it's really just fun to both be racing in the same car and be taking turns. So it's kind of like 2-player alternating, but not really. Boom!
I like this because I'm not concentrating on 2 things at once. I just have to concentrate on driving.
Yeah. And you wouldn't think Mario Kart's a very complicated game, and it's not really, but it just kind of makes it simpler. Boom! Because now I just have to wait until I get an item, and then use it at the right time, like I did with that green shell.
Sorry. That's it.
Yeah. I guess that's sort of like, you don't have to think about the items if you're driving, but you do sort of have the responsibility to, say, try and pick up as many items as possible just to keep things interesting for the, second person. You can play this with up to 4 players, and you can play it the traditional way too, where just one person controls 1 cart, and then you could have up to 4 teams of, 2 carts, and then each person drives their own cart. But I kind of like this the way it is. It's a perfect balance between alternating and simultaneous. Now, of course, we both do like the newer Mario Kart, the one on the Wii, but we don't have a copy of that yet. That's a good one. You can play that teams too as well. Not on the same cart, but everybody racing together.
Well, I like this too because I don't consider myself the better driver. So when I'm in back, I like being able to control the items, and I like trying to help out.
It kind of takes some of the pressure off, because if you're the driver, you're constantly moving and watching the track. But doing the items, you're still doing something, but it's less actively taking up your attention.
I feel it's kind of equal though, because this driving, like you said, does take your attention, and even though the item spot in back doesn't take too much of the attention, it's still you're able to take a better look at what's going on around you.
Nice. I think what we do here, where we're passing it off in between races, is probably the best, because we tried it a little bit where we'll go in an entire cup where one person is driving, and then an entire cup where one person, we switch off. But usually if you go for like 4 races without driving, you kind of lose your edge a little bit. Like, because it's been so long since you've driven last. Wow. See, I'm not doing that good now. And I was just driving like a couple minutes ago when we started recording this. But it's sort of like, if you keep in practice, basically, like you keep driving and switching off, then your skills are still warm or whatever.
Another thing I've noticed about the items in back too is even when you leave a banana or a question box or something like that, you still want to be conscious of where you want to leave it, because then you can still hit your own banana or your own question box.
Now, of course, this is the only Mario Kart game that features the double items. Occasionally you might have seen these question blocks where there's basically 2 blocks in one, and with that, the driver gets an item as well as the items person in back. And then you press the same button that activates an item if you're in back to flip your item to the person in back, so you've kind of got a spare.
I missed that banana.
Well, despite my doing pretty bad there towards the beginning, we're actually getting a great lead. We're pretty far ahead of everybody, which is just the way I like it. Could be wrong, but I think this is also the only Mario Kart game where each character has their own special item.
It seems like that, yeah. I haven't figured out Peach's, but when we had Yoshi, he kept laying eggs.
Yeah, and Wario and Waluigi have the bomb, and Koopa's got the giant shell. Donkey Kong's got the giant banana peel. Alright, 2 first places. Alright, I think this is going to wrap up Week 2. We already know what we're going to be playing next. It's going to be Sengoku for the Neo Geo. It's a pretty simple and straightforward brawler, but I guess since King of Fighters and Mario Kart Double Dash are only kind of like more like alternating than actually simultaneous, then Sengoku will be the first that we do where we're actually both controlling at the same time. But we're going to be playing that on the SNK Classics Volume 1 for the PS2. And sometime later we'll have a video of that. Alright, see you next week, and play some co-op games.
Bye!